I went to a little Baptist college out in West Texas, Wayland, W-A-Y-L-A-N-D, Baptist College, Plainview, Texas. Conservative little old school. Had to sign a pledge card to get in Wayland College, and I'm not making this up. I'm embellishing it a little, but I'm not making this up. Pledge card had 4 parts to it. First part, you pledged that you wouldn't smoke. Now, that was even if you caught on fire. You wouldn't smoke. Second part, you wouldn't drink, and they didn't say what. You're just supposed to know. Well, I was a pretty serious kid. I signed a pledge that said I wouldn't drink, and I tried to keep it. I made it 3.5 days. I couldn't get down the hall without holding on doorknobs. I was weak, nervous, trembly. I was standing there one afternoon just absolutely about to faint from exhaustion. I couldn't even swallow. I was so serious, you know. And president of the Ministerial Association. Now, this is young guys planning to be preachers that are already talking odd for God. You know, these weird, spooky dudes. And I was one of them, I know, man. So this guy, old Bruce, comes over to me, had a big, thick Bible under his arm with 4 colors of ribbon hanging out and 19 paper clips on the top edge, you know. Looking just as serious as he could. He came over to me with a burden on his heart. Put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Grady, what's your burden?" You know, kind of like that. And I kind of broke under the pressure, you know, and I said, "Bruce, I got to have a drink." It nearly scared him to death. It really did. Poor old Bruce nearly fainted. He backed off, wouldn't touch me. You'd thought I had a bell on yelling, "Unclean, unclean." And he backed off and looked at me and said, "You drink?" I said, "Yeah, man, don't you?" He said, "No." I said, "What do you do, sweat and lick your lip?" You know, I'm dying. I'm dying. But you wouldn't smoke and you wouldn't drink. And third part, you wouldn't dance. Now, I don't know if you know much about Baptists or not, but, buddy, they were uptight about dancing when I grew up. Some of them still are. But that was almost unpardonable sin. The basic attitude in church. Now, I wasn't putting exactly these words, but this is the message you got. If you've got a choice, and that's the way preachers would say it. You've heard them, I can tell. If you've got a choice between sin and dancing, sin. But don't dance, man. Whatever you do, don't dance. So you wouldn't smoke, and you wouldn't drink, and you wouldn't dance. And fourth part, you wouldn't want to. That was when I got in trouble. I was caught wanting to. And Dean called me in his office with a lump in his throat and a tear on his cheek and said, "Grady, you've been caught wanting to." And it scared me to death. And I asked him how they could tell. He said, "Sweating in February."